Assalamu alaikum. I am Dr. Syeda Farzana Yesmin, Associate Professor Gynae and Obst at the Akij Medical College, Khulna. Today we will discuss on vaginal hysterectomy with pelvic floor repair. First of all, what is vaginal hysterectomy? Vaginal hysterectomy means removing of the uterus through the vaginal route with correction of cystocele, rectocele, enterocele if present. Vaginal hysterectomy with pelvic floor repair means removing of the uterus by the vaginal route along with correction of cystocele, rectocele, enterocele if present. Only pelvic floor repair may also done in case of deficient perineum. What are the indications of vaginal hysterectomy or when we do vaginal hysterectomy? Indications of vaginal hysterectomy includes third degree genital prolapse, second degree genital prolapse in aged women, also when uterovaginal prolapse associated with diseased uterus such as DUB, small fibroid less than 10 weeks size, and number 4 is diseased uterus without genitovaginal prolapse in where the uterus is less than 10 weeks size. Diseased uterus without uterovaginal prolapse where the size of the uterus is less than 10 weeks size. What are the contraindications of vaginal hysterectomy? When we should not do vaginal hysterectomy? When the uterovaginal prolapse is associated with extensive pelvic inflammatory disease, endometriosis, big fibroid, diseased uterus more than 10 weeks size, previous pelvic surgery associated with adhesions, pelvic radiations. In such cases, we should not do vaginal hysterectomy. What are the pre-operative care of a case of vaginal hysterectomy? What care should we do in case of vaginal hysterectomy before operation? Before operation, patient should be fit for operative procedure. All investigations should be done. If any medical problem should be corrected. If such as if cystitis is present, we should give antibiotic first and then vaginal hysterectomy done. Otherwise, there is chance of ascending infection. If there is any decubitus ulcer in the cervix, then we should give treatment for decubitus ulcer first. What is decubitus ulcer? The ulcer in case of genital prolapse or uterovaginal prolapse is known as decubitus ulcer. Why this ulcer occur? This ulcer occur due to deficient blood supply in the prolapsed part. When the circulation is hampered due to prolapse, there is ischemic necrosis followed by ulcer formation. What is the treatment of decubitus ulcer? This type of ulcer needs repositioning or restoration of the actual position of the uterus by vaginal packing. This vaginal packing improve blood supply to the prolapsed part and healing occurs. Usually vaginal packing is done with rolled gauze piece which is soaked with antiseptic solution, usually acryflavine used. Nowadays Povicep plus Hexaten cream may be used and the gauze is soaked with Hexaten and Povicep cream. This packing needs for 7 to 14 days. What is the procedure of vaginal hysterectomy? Before other operations, patient should evacuate her bladder first. then enter into the operation theatre. Anesthesia is given, usually spinal anesthesia is chosen, and then patient is placed in lithotomy position, and the swabbing done with providon iodine solution soaked gauze, vulva, vagina and medial aspect of the thighs are swabbed with providon iodine. Then with sterile sheets, draping done. After draping, bladder evacuated with metallic catheter. Then after evacuation of bladder, pelvic examination done to note the size and the mobility of the uterus. Also any adhesion or adnexal pathology should be noted. Then the labia minora is stitched with the medial aspect of the thigh to make the operative field roomy. Then vaginal speculum is introduced and anterior lip of the cervix is held with a Volslam. Posterior lip of the cervix usually hold with a tissue forceps. Then the cervix is drawn down and the extent of descent is noted. A female metallic catheter is introduced through the urethra to note the extent of descent of the bladder. Lower limit of the bladder base is identified. Then a pair of Alice tissue forceps are placed on each side of the cervix below the cystocele, and a horizontal incision is made through these two Alice tissue forceps below the level of the bladder base. And then a vertical incision is given which starts at the midpoint of the horizontal incision, and the vertical incision is extended up to 1.5 centimeter below the urethra, and the incision dissect the vaginal wall, although also the vaginal fascia. Care should be taken not to injure the bladder, and in this way vesicovaginal space is open. The flap is then dissected with blunt and sharp dissection, and the vaginal wall is dissected laterally up to the ischiopubic rami. Now the bladder is held with a piece of gauze to make the pubocervical ligament prominent. The bladder is held with a piece of gauze to make the pubocervical ligament prominent, which is then dissected. Then the bladder is pushed up with a gauze, covered a finger till the peritoneum of the uterovesical pouch is visible. Peritoneum of the uterovesical pouch is visible. Then the posterior lip of the cervix is held with the Volslam, and the cervix is pulled upward and forwards, and the horizontal incision of the anterior wall is extended posteriorly. Circular incision is made around the cervix. So, posterior vaginal wall. In the posterior vaginal wall, a transverse incision is made. Then the vaginal wall is dissected and pulled down, and the up to the pouch of Douglas, dissected down up to the pouch of Douglas is reached. Then peritoneum of the pouch of Douglas is cut. and the uterus and adnexa is filled through the incision line. Then the after peritoneum of the uterovesical fold is opened, the peritoneum of the uterovesical fold is opened, the fundus of the uterus is delivered through the uterovesical peritoneum. After the peritoneum of the uterovesical fold is opened, the fundus of the uterus is delivered through the opening. Then the clamps are applied. The clamps may be applied above downwards or below upwards. And if the clamping is done above downwards, the first clamp should include the round ligament, fallopian tube and ovarian ligament. This clamp is dissected and a transfixation suture is given with chromic catgut 2 or with Vicryl 1. Then the second clamp is given, which includes the uterine vessels, and the clamp is dissected and transfixation suture is given with a Vicryl 1, and the third clamp is given, which includes the transverse cervical ligament, uterosacral ligament, McIndore's ligament or transverse cervical ligament, uterosacral ligament and descending cervical artery. The third clamp includes uterosacral ligament, McIndore's ligament or transverse cervical ligament and descending cervical artery. After clamping and dissection, transfixation, the hemostasis is checked. After ensuring proper hemostasis, the peritoneum is closed by pars string suture. The stitch must be away from the pedicle, or bites should be away from the pedicle, and then approximation of the first and third clamp done to give more support to the vault. Then the pubocervical fascia is plicated in the midline by interrupted sutures with chromic catgut 0. Redundant portion of the anterior vaginal wall is cut off on either side, and urethral buttressing suture or Kelly's suture if needed given, and cut margins of the vagina are approximated from above downwards with either chromic catgut 1 or with Vicryl 1. Interrupted sutures or a continuous suture may be given here. Then posterior repair or posterior colpo perineorrhaphy done. And the posterior, in case of posterior colpoperineorrhaphy, a pair of Alice tissue forceps are placed at the lower end of the labia minora, which is held by the assistants, and a third Alice tissue forceps is placed above the rectocele bulge. The two Alice tissue forceps are drawn down or outwards by the assistant to make the skin or to stretch the skin of the perineum. Then a horizontal incision is made in between two Alice tissue forceps, joining these two Alice tissue forceps. And with the help of a scissor, another vertical incision is made, which starts from the midpoint of the horizontal incision up to the tissue forceps above the rectal bulge. Then the posterior vaginal wall is dissected and separated from the rectum, from the levator ani muscles, perineal body. Now two triangular flaps are now dissected laterally to expose the rectum and levator any muscles. Redundant vaginal flaps are then excised. The cut margins of the posterior vaginal walls are approximated in the midline, starting from the apex using chromic catgut 0 or with the Vicryl 0. 2 or 3 interrupted sutures are placed through the levator ani muscles using Vicryl 0 or Vicryl 1 with round body needle. Sutures are placed in the levator ani muscles are now tied, and sutures of the posterior vaginal wall is completed up to the mucocutaneous junction. Then 2 or 3 interrupted sutures are placed through the perineal muscles. Then the cut margins of the skin is approximated with chromic catgut or with Vicryl. Then a catheter, Foley's catheter is introduced. Procedure is completed now. A Foley's catheter is introduced through the urethra. Balloon is inflated with distilled water, and the catheter is kept in situ for 5 days, and vaginal packing is completed. The above downwards. Vaginal packing is done with rolled gauze, which may be soaked with povidone iodine or dry gauze. The capability of dry gauze of soaking blood is preferable. We can also soak the gauze with Hibiten cream, and then vulva is swabbed and cleaned. Sterile sanitary pad is put over the vulva. Patient is placed in supine position by bringing down both the legs together. So, this is the procedure of vaginal hysterectomy with pelvic floor repair. In next class, we should discuss about the post-operative management and other some viva questions related to vaginal hysterectomy with pelvic floor repair. Thanks to all. Thanks for patient hearing.